So we're still sticking with the markets. In the capital market, to be precise, the busy business week continues tomorrow when the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, holds a high-powered roundtable on Nigeria's budget for 2017. That event is scheduled to take place here in Lagos with the head of the commission, Munir Gwazo, at the top of the table. But let's raise the curtain a little on that conference with Professor Ahmed Sanda. He is the chief economist at the SEC and is live here in the studios with us. Good morning, Professor. Thanks for coming through on the program.
Very good morning.
Straight to business. Why is the SEC holding a conference on the budget? That is very surprising to me. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, actually, the SEC is very much convinced that there is an intimate connection between budget and the capital market, each one affecting the other. So the government is actually interested in boosting the economy, to revive the economy, and therefore this budget is tagged the budget of recovery. And we feel that at the Securities and Exchange Commission, the capital market has a big role to play. And for this reason, it is assembling high-profile people from professional, academic, and practical background in this roundtable.
Yes, I'm looking at a number of names here, but let's before we talk about these names, let's get back to how do you think the main street where you have the budget actually impact the market straight?
Yeah, the budget has a direct impact as well as an indirect impact. The direct impact, for example, if the budget procures goods and services from the market participants, from the listed companies, this will be a shot on the arm, and definitely it will affect the market in a very positive way. And there are indirect effects. For example, if the budget is financed, if there is a deficit, it could be inflationary, and then that could have an impact on the market. So there is both direct and indirect effect on the capital market, and we feel that it is time that we bring together people with this diverse background, practical, academic, and professional background, to discuss the budget and provide some important points for consideration by the policymakers as well as practitioners.
You're an economist yourself, so
yes,
so I can see names, folks like yourself, Dr. Biodun Adedipe, one of the panelists tomorrow, or the discussants for this, the Managing Director of Investment One, VenCap, and the two from the markets, Carry Asset Management, and the Quest Advisory Services, Bayo Rotimi. So you think, let me put it this way, what do you expect these gentlemen to discuss on one hand, and on the other hand, what does the SEC want to say at this conference?
Actually, if you look at the speaker at the conference, is Dr. Afolabi Olowo Okere. He is an economist and the divisional head of economic research and policy management at the Securities and Exchange Commission. And he is the speaker, and these other professionals that you have mentioned are going to discuss the papers. So they are coming from different perspectives. They are going to give their own different perspectives, and the role of the SEC here is to bring together these people from different capital market, from different aspects of the capital market, so that they can give their own contributions as to how the capital market can contribute to the successful implementation of the budget.
Do you think in the past that the budget has impacted the capital market? You think so?
Indeed.
Previously, perhaps last year's budget, perhaps 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Actually, if you look at last year, there was a shortfall between what was budgeted and what was actually expended. And the capital market, or the SEC is of the belief that the capital market can play a more active role. So by bringing these people together, they can profile ways in which the capital market, for example, can raise funds to cover some of the deficits. If you look at the 2017 budget, it has a deficit of over 2 trillion naira, and this has to be funded in a number of ways. And one of those ways is through the capital market. And these people coming together tomorrow will give their own rich ideas as to how those deficits can be financed using the capital market as a very important source.
But you think it's good to have this discussion now before the budget is finalized, because it's still with the National Assembly?
Absolutely, because of the intimate connection between the capital market and the economy. Absolutely.
What's the view of the SEC for the market in 2016 vis-a-vis the proposal of the budget that we already know as presented by the executive branch?
Yeah, we all know very well that last year was very rough for the market, but the outlook for 2017 is very positive. With crude oil prices rising, with the fight against corruption also gaining momentum, with participants gaining confidence, we have every hope that the outlook for the immediate future will be very bright.
We've seen a number of projections as to 2017 Nigeria getting out of recession. Some were looking at 2% GDP growth. We've seen forecasts of 1%. We've seen 0.5%. They all seem to have a bit of a consensus that the economy will recover, very minor as it were, in 2017. Did you agree? You are an economist. Have you looked at some of these numbers? And what's your view?
Yes, indeed. The IMF actually projected. They even revised upward. They had an upward revision of their projection from 0.8% to 1% for 2017. And indeed, for 2018, the projection is much higher, somewhere in the region of 3%. So if you look at these projections, both from the World Bank, the IMF, they're all positive. Of course, you are right that for 2017, the growth, the recovery will be modest, but by 2018, it is most likely going to be in the region of 3-4%. So I am absolutely in agreement with this view.
Your agreement, is it also stem looking at what the government is doing from the fiscal side of things? Are you convinced of this?
Yeah, the government actually is very keen in achieving economic recovery. And if you look at the allocations to various sectors in the budget, look at the allocation to Ministry of Works, Power and Housing, Interior, Defense, Education. These are very important ministries that have got significant allocations. And such priority attention given to them will actually remove some of the infrastructural deficits that we are facing, and which will provide a fillip for the economic growth and recovery process.
We're going to be around tomorrow for that conference, but we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
When it takes place tomorrow. Professor Ahmed Sanda, who is the Chief Economist at the Securities and Exchange Commission.